I'd like to shed some light on one of the nastiest words in our vocabulary. It's a 6-letter word, so I would like you to mentally prepare for what it is that you're up against. Now, I know most of you are sitting there thinking, all of the bad words have 4 letters in them, so what could it possibly be? I am 5'2", 51 years old, and I am here to knock the should out of you. Yes, should. S-H-O-U-L-D. This rather simple word, should, has so much power and control over our lives that it's time to wipe it from our lexicon. I know what you think you heard, but I'm here to show you that both words are practically synonymous. The implications of this word are that it has prescribed limitations, and if you don't meet them, you have therefore failed. For example, you should do this, or you should do that. You should have this much money in your bank account by the time you retire. You should go to college. You should be a YouTube star by the time you're 23. You should have this much money in your bank account every month. You should have so many followers on Instagram. You should keep your streak going on Snapchat. You should have a body mass of X if your age is Y. You should like eating kale. Moms have a shittier time than anyone, as every time they head into the pediatrician's office, they hear your baby should be walking, talking, composing concertos by the time they're 2, or they'll never be successful. Or, your child is gifted according to this test or that test, so you should move them up a grade. My parents fell for that one, so I was never a 2nd grader. But I did have to repeat 11th grade, because while I should have been able to keep up with my year-older peers, my chronological maturity caught up with me. And the should list goes on. You should buy this brand. You should drive that car. You should be married by the time you are 30, or you may as well sign up for the Crazy Cat Lady starter pack. Well, that last should is the one that got me into the most trouble. The panic and fear as I approached 28 that I was reaching my expiration date, according to the advertisers in Hollywood, for being marriage material. There weren't many models to be found with crinkles at the corners of their eyes, carefree and smiling as they enjoyed their fabulous wedding, followed by their equally fabulous honeymoon in some fabulous tropical locale. So I said yes to the first person to ask with a ring in his hand. He was 11 years my senior and asked after only 3 weeks of dating, but I ignored those rather giant red flags because time was ticking. I was now 28. It did not occur to me to ask why he had never been married before because I was completely should-faced, thinking women should be married by the time they are 30. I was fearful that my glass slipper was never going to fit because it had a best if used by date stamped on the bottom of it. What happened next was 2 years of mental abuse. He managed to isolate me from my family and erase my identity. He caused me to doubt myself. He told me no one would ever love me the way that he did, and through all the fighting, I believed him. He used convincing biblical arguments that I needed to cleave to him, even though we weren't yet married. It was at the point of being so ready to give up, so full of doubt, that I was searching the house for his gun one night to end my anguish, that he threw me out. Within 2 hours of being away from him, I came to the appalling realization that I allowed someone to cause me to devalue myself to the absolute lowest point a human being can reach. That is, that his or her life has no value. All because I was in a hurry to get married, all because I believed the message of should. That was something I should be doing at that point in my life. So I woke up and got out. The should I finally heard was my own inner voice telling me that being engaged to someone should not feel that bad. And I'm happy to say that with the man I call my true soulmate, Last summer, we celebrated our 20th wedding anniversary. The fact of the matter is this: everyone has their own timelines and goals for their own lives, and no one else has any say in it. I forgot until recently something a psychology professor my first year of college had called these imposed life sentences your crock of shoulds. Clearly, I did not remember that way back then, as I succumbed to the intense pressure of should and feeling like I should be married by the time I am 30. What I have learned is this, is that there are no time limitations on people's accomplishments. Life can be a daily should storm, but you know what? We all will make it in the end. Your perfect job will always be out there waiting for you. Your soulmate will always be there waiting for you in the right time. That impressive GPA that may have eluded you in high school may be yours in trade school or even in grad school. Your future family will do everything that it's supposed to do at the time that it is supposed to happen. Let's illuminate the notion that the time limits or the restraints of one person or even of society do not apply to you. Don't step in a pile of someone else's should. Tell them that they're full of should, and they can keep their shouldy advice. Thank you very much. Everything that is meant to be, to come into the light, will come into the light at the right time, when it's supposed to happen. So flush those shoulds. Stop giving a should about what anybody else recommends. Hey, should happens, but it doesn't have to happen to you. Thank you.